As we age, we often find ourselves reflecting on the years that have passed, the milestones we've achieved, and the things we wish we had done differently. The decades behind us are filled with memories, challenges, accomplishments, and sacrifices. But as we enter the later years of life, there's something incredible waiting for us, a chance to live even more fully, with purpose and joy. It might seem like we're slowing down, but what if I told you that these years could be some of the most fulfilling of your life? What if the secret to living well in this chapter is simply the adoption of 5 small habits that, practiced every day, can transform the way you experience life? We're often told that aging means slowing down, that our bodies will inevitably decline, and that the best years are behind us. But I don't believe that's true. While the body does change as we get older, that doesn't mean we have to give up on vitality, energy, and happiness. In fact, the way we choose to approach aging can completely reshape our experience. The truth is, it's not the big grand gestures that matter most. It's the small, everyday choices we make that can have the biggest impact on our health, happiness, and well-being. There's a common misconception that living well after 50 requires major changes in our lives, perhaps a drastic diet overhaul, intense exercise regimens, or a complete lifestyle change. But the truth is, living well doesn't require a complete overhaul of your life. In fact, the key to a vibrant life after 50 lies in the power of small daily habits that add up over time. It's the little things, the daily decisions, that build the foundation for a fulfilling, purpose-driven life. And the beauty of these habits is that they are simple, achievable, and can be incorporated into any routine, no matter your age or physical condition. As we begin this journey, it's important to reflect on what kind of life we want to live in our later years. For many of us, the focus has been on responsibilities, work, family, obligations, and commitments. We've been so busy meeting the needs of others that we've sometimes neglected our own. But now, as we find ourselves in this new chapter, it's time to think about how we want to live moving forward. It's time to shift our focus from what we've been doing to how we want to feel every day. And the truth is, small habits, things we can easily start doing right now, can change the course of our lives for the better. Think about it. What if you could wake up every day feeling energized, happy, and ready to embrace life, no matter what challenges the day might bring? What if you could feel mentally sharp, emotionally balanced, and physically strong without needing to make drastic changes? The power of small habits is that they are manageable, sustainable, and they work incrementally to improve your quality of life. But how do we begin? How do we start to implement habits that will bring about the transformation we're seeking? It starts with understanding that you don't need to do everything perfectly. You don't have to follow a rigid diet or commit to hours of intense workouts. You just need to make small, intentional choices every day. It's the accumulation of these small actions that over time can have a profound impact on your well-being. And what are these habits? They are the simple, everyday practices that we sometimes overlook, but that hold immense power to improve our lives. These habits are not about perfection or ambition. They're about consistency and presence. They're about showing up for ourselves every day and making the effort to care for our bodies, minds, and hearts. These habits are so simple, yet so powerful, and they can make all the difference in how we feel as we age. Take a moment to think about your daily routine. What do you do first thing in the morning? What are the first thoughts that cross your mind as you start the day? Do you rush into your day filled with stress and anxiety, or do you take a moment to check in with yourself, to focus on your breath, and to set a positive intention for the day ahead? Starting your day with a moment of mindfulness can set the tone for everything that follows. It can help you feel grounded, centered, and ready to tackle whatever challenges come your way. This brings me to the first of the 5 small habits that every senior should practice daily: mindful movement. As we age, many of us experience physical changes that make us feel less agile, less flexible, and less energetic. But movement is essential for maintaining our health. The key is to find ways to move that are gentle, yet effective, enjoyable, yet beneficial. Mindful movement doesn't mean running marathons or lifting heavy weights. It means moving in ways that are kind to your body, but still keep you active. This could be a morning stretch, a gentle yoga class, a walk around the block, or dancing in your living room. It's the intention behind the movement that matters, moving with awareness, focusing on your breath and enjoying the sensation of your body in motion. Mindful movement helps improve circulation, flexibility, and balance, and it boosts your mood, reduces stress, and enhances overall well-being. The second small habit that can make a huge difference is nutrition. Eating well doesn't mean following restrictive diets or counting every calorie. It means nourishing your body with whole nutrient-dense foods that provide energy and vitality. As we age, our nutritional needs change, but that doesn't mean we have to deprive ourselves. Instead, we can focus on eating more fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. It's about fueling our bodies with the right nutrients to maintain strength and vitality. When we choose foods that nourish us, we feel better physically, emotionally, and mentally. Hydration is equally important, and simply drinking enough water each day can have a profound impact on how we feel. Another key habit is mental stimulation. It's easy to assume that as we age, our cognitive abilities will naturally decline, but that's not necessarily the case. Our brains are capable of learning and growing throughout our lives, and by challenging our minds regularly, we can keep them sharp and engaged. Reading, doing puzzles, learning a new language, or engaging in stimulating conversations are all ways to keep your mind active and sharp. These small daily practices help improve memory, focus, and overall mental clarity. They also provide a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment as we continue to learn and grow no matter our age. Finally, one of the simplest yet most powerful habits is gratitude. Practicing gratitude every day is an incredibly effective way to shift your mindset and improve your overall happiness. It's easy to focus on what's wrong or what we don't have, but gratitude helps us focus on what's good and abundant in our lives. It can be as simple as taking a moment each day to reflect on what you're grateful for, whether it's a beautiful sunset, a warm cup of coffee, or the love of a family member. Gratitude has been shown to improve mental health, boost happiness, and reduce stress. It's a small habit that can have a profound effect on your outlook on life. Incorporating these 5 small habits into your daily routine doesn't require major changes, but over time, they can transform the way you feel, the way you live, and the way you experience life. They will help you stay active, healthy, mentally sharp, and emotionally balanced. The beauty of these habits is that they are accessible to everyone, regardless of physical condition or age. They are simple, sustainable, and incredibly powerful. In the previous section, we explored 5 small habits that can change the life of any senior: mindful movement, proper nutrition, drinking enough water, stimulating the mind, and practicing gratitude. These habits are not just keys to maintaining physical health, but also help improve mental well-being and bring peace into life. However, implementing these habits is not always easy. You may face many obstacles and challenges along the way, but don't worry, these obstacles can be overcome if you understand them and prepare accordingly. So how can we overcome these obstacles when practicing these habits? Let's dive into each habit and explore how to overcome the challenges we may encounter in our daily lives. Chapter 1: Mindful movement. Movement is an important part of maintaining physical health, but for many seniors, exercising can be challenging. We may experience joint pain, lack of flexibility, or sometimes just feel tired after a long day. These issues can make it difficult to keep up with regular physical activity. However, exercise doesn't need to be intense or involve running. The key is to find gentle exercises that suit your body. That's why mindful movement should be the first habit we practice daily. Mindful movement not only helps keep the body healthy, but also helps relax the mind and provide comfort. So what's the biggest obstacle we often face when trying to engage in mindful movement? It's the feeling of laziness and lack of motivation. We tend to tell ourselves that we're too tired or don't have enough energy to exercise. This is completely understandable, but the truth is even just 10 minutes of movement every day, whether it's simple stretching or a light walk inside the house, can make you feel better. The biggest challenge in practicing this habit is often the mental barrier. We may feel unmotivated to start, but setting small and specific goals, such as walking for 5 minutes each morning or doing a few simple yoga poses, can help us gradually overcome this barrier. Remember, starting with small steps is a great way to maintain the habit of moving every day. 2. Proper nutrition. As we age, our nutritional needs change. Some people may face issues like loss of appetite, changing taste preferences, or even digestive problems. However, nutrition remains a crucial factor in maintaining health and energy. The key is to maintain a balanced diet that provides enough nutrients for the body without taking away the joy of eating. One of the biggest obstacles in maintaining a healthy diet is the lack of time and preparation. We may feel too busy or not have enough time to prepare nutritious meals, but the truth is, eating healthy doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. It's as simple as eating more vegetables, choosing minimally processed foods, and drinking enough water every day. Another challenge is old eating habits. We may have been used to unhealthy foods for many years, and changing this habit can be a big challenge. But you can start with small changes, like adding one vegetable-rich meal per day or replacing high sugar and high-fat foods with healthier options. The important thing is to begin with small steps and create changes that are easy to maintain in daily life. 3. Drinking enough water. Water is essential for maintaining health. However, over time, the feeling of thirst may diminish and we may easily forget to drink enough water each day. A common mistake is not realizing the importance of staying hydrated, and this habit can be neglected throughout the day. Dehydration can lead to fatigue, headaches, and impact overall health. To overcome this issue, we need to build the habit of drinking water regularly. One easy way is to always carry a water bottle and drink when you feel thirsty. You can also set a specific goal, like drinking 6 to 8 cups of water per day. Another obstacle is not liking the taste of water or finding it unappealing. However, you can add a slice of lemon or cucumber to your water to enhance the flavor, making it more enjoyable to drink. 4. Stimulating the mind. As we age, cognitive abilities may decline, but that doesn't mean we can't keep our minds sharp. Stimulating the mind daily can help improve memory concentration and slow down cognitive decline. However, one of the biggest challenges is lack of motivation or not knowing where to start. You may feel that engaging in mental activities like reading, solving puzzles, or learning something new is too difficult or unnecessary. But the truth is, just spending a few minutes each day reading a book, playing a brain game, or having an interesting conversation can help keep your mind sharp. The key here is to create a daily routine, such as solving puzzles for 10 minutes each morning or trying to learn a new language. Don't think you have to do everything perfectly. Just start with small steps. Gratitude. One of the most important habits for maintaining a happy life is practicing gratitude. In fact, gratitude can improve mental health, reduce stress, and increase satisfaction in life. However, many of us may struggle with this habit because we tend to focus on negative things or challenges in life. To overcome this, all you need to do is start each day by reflecting on things you are grateful for. You can begin with simple things like a nice meal, a phone call from a loved one, or simply a beautiful day. Writing down what you are grateful for each day will help shift your perspective and bring positivity into your life. If you do this every day, you'll feel a significant change in your mood and mental health. In the previous parts, we've discussed how simple, small habits can drastically improve our health, happiness, and well-being, especially as we enter our later years. We've identified 5 key habits that can help seniors stay vibrant and live with purpose: mindful movement, proper nutrition, hydration, mental stimulation, and gratitude. We've also tackled the obstacles that can prevent us from practicing these habits consistently, from physical limitations to mental barriers and lack of motivation. But now the real question is, how do we make these habits stick? How do we ensure that these small, daily actions become a natural part of our routine rather than something we struggle to maintain? The reality is that building lasting habits is not always easy. In the beginning, it's exciting, we're filled with motivation, and we can't wait to see the benefits of our new habits. But after a while, that initial excitement starts to fade. Life gets busy, distractions creep in, and the old habits that once felt effortless begin to resurface. It's at this point that many people give up believing that they simply don't have the willpower or discipline to keep going. But the truth is, the key to maintaining healthy habits for the long term is not about willpower. It's about creating a system that makes these habits automatic and sustainable. It's about turning them into a lifestyle so they become an integral part of who we are rather than something we need to force ourselves to do every day. To illustrate this, let me tell you about my friend Linda. Linda is in her early 70s, and when she retired a few years ago, she decided to start making some significant changes in her life. She had always struggled with her health and had spent years prioritizing her work and family responsibilities over her own well-being. She was tired, felt disconnected from her body, and realized that her energy levels had been dwindling for years. Linda decided that it was time for a change. She committed to adopting the 5 habits we've been discussing. She started walking every morning, changed her diet, drank more water, did puzzles to keep her mind sharp, and started practicing gratitude every day. At first, the changes were invigorating. Linda felt more energetic, her mood improved, and she was excited to start every day with intention. But after a few months, life started to get in the way. The initial excitement wore off, and she found herself skipping her walks. She got distracted by other things, and the habits she had worked so hard to create started to slip away. One morning, Linda woke up and realized that she had stopped doing most of the things she had promised herself she would do. She was disappointed, but instead of giving up completely, she asked herself, what went wrong? What Linda realized is something that we all eventually face. It's not about having the willpower to force yourself to do something every day. It's about making these habits so deeply ingrained in your routine that they feel like second nature. So she began to rethink her approach. Instead of setting unrealistic expectations or trying to rely solely on motivation, she started making small, practical changes that would make these habits easier to maintain over the long term. The first thing Linda did was simplify her approach. Instead of committing to a 30-minute walk every day, she began by setting a more achievable goal, a 10-minute walk after breakfast. This small, easy-to-achieve goal allowed her to build momentum and feel a sense of accomplishment each day. Over time, the walk became an automatic part of her morning routine, and it felt natural. Linda realized that by making the walk short and manageable, she could consistently incorporate it into her day without feeling overwhelmed. She also found that making her environment conducive to her new habits helped significantly. For example, she placed her walking shoes and a bottle of water by the door each evening, so they were the first thing she saw when she woke up in the morning. This small change served as a constant reminder and made it easier for her to start her walk without having to think about it too much. Similarly, she began preparing her meals in advance, so eating healthy foods became less of a hassle. Linda started using a meal planning app to track her daily nutrition and set reminders for hydration. These small environmental cues removed the friction that often stood in the way of her goals. Linda also learned to be kind to herself when she missed a day. Instead of giving up entirely when she skipped a walk or didn't have time to make a healthy meal, she acknowledged that it was okay to miss a day now and then. The key was to keep coming back to her habits no matter how many times she missed. By not being too hard on herself, Linda was able to maintain a positive mindset and avoid the all or nothing mentality that so often derails progress. Another strategy that worked for Linda was to find a buddy to hold her accountable. She joined a walking group at the local community center and started meeting her friends every morning for a walk in the park. Not only did this make her walks more enjoyable, but it also made her feel more committed to the routine. Knowing that others were expecting her to show up made it easier to stay consistent. She also found that by sharing her goals with a supportive group, she felt more motivated to keep going. One of the most important lessons Linda learned was the power of celebrating small victories. Every time she accomplished one of her goals, whether it was completing her daily walk, eating a healthy meal, or simply taking a moment to reflect on what she was grateful for, she celebrated it. This sense of accomplishment, no matter how small, kept her motivated and reminded her of why she started in the first place. Celebrating these small wins created positive reinforcement, which made her habits easier to continue. Linda's story highlights an important truth. The key to maintaining healthy habits for the long term is not to rely solely on motivation or willpower. Motivation can come and go, but the habits that stick are the ones that become so woven into the fabric of our daily routine that we no longer have to think about them. They become automatic, and the way to get there is by making the habits small, manageable, and sustainable. It's about finding ways to fit them into your life without feeling overwhelmed. So, how do we make sure that these habits become an integral part of our daily routine, just like they did for Linda? First, it's about making them as easy as possible to practice. Start small, make them achievable. Don't try to change everything all at once. Focus on one habit at a time and gradually build from there. Simplify your goals so that they feel natural and don't require too much effort. The key is consistency, not perfection. Next, create an environment that supports your new habits. Surround yourself with reminders and tools that make it easier to stick with them. Whether it's putting your walking shoes by the door, meal prepping in advance, or setting reminders on your phone to drink water, these small changes can make a world of difference in how easily you maintain your habits. Most importantly, be kind to yourself. Understand that there will be setbacks, and that's okay. What matters is how quickly you get back on track. Progress is not always linear, but every step forward is a victory. And finally, find a community that supports your goals. Whether it's a friend, a family member, or a group of like-minded individuals, having people who encourage you and hold you accountable can make a huge difference in maintaining your habits. We all need support, especially when it comes to forming lasting habits. As we near the end of this journey together, I want you to take a moment and reflect on everything we've discussed so far. We've explored 5 small habits that can significantly improve the quality of your life: mindful movement, proper nutrition, hydration, mental stimulation, and gratitude. We've also examined how to overcome the obstacles that can prevent us from practicing these habits daily, whether they be physical limitations, lack of motivation, or mental barriers. Finally, we've talked about how to make these habits stick, how to integrate them into your daily routine, and how to transform them into a sustainable lifestyle that nourishes both your body and mind. But there's one last thing we need to address before we conclude: the power of mindset and intention. The truth is, all the practical steps, strategies, and advice we've discussed in this series will only be effective if you approach them with the right mindset. It's one thing to know what you need to do. It's another thing to truly believe that you can do it. The most important ingredient for success in this journey is the willingness to embrace these habits with intention, joy, and patience. You see, as we age, there's a tendency to feel that we've passed our prime, that the best years are behind us. But I want to challenge you to think differently. Your best years are still ahead of you. Age is just a number, and it doesn't have to define your ability to live a vibrant, fulfilling life. What truly defines the quality of your life is the attitude with which you face each day, the choices you make, and the small habits that shape your reality. You may be wondering, but is it really possible for me to live this way, to practice these habits every day and truly transform my life? The answer is yes. You have within you the power to change, to improve, and to live fully no matter how old you are. It won't happen overnight, and it won't be without effort. But with every small step you take toward a healthier, happier life, you will begin to see the results. When I think about the seniors I know who have embraced these habits, I see a common thread. They are not waiting for life to happen to them. They are actively shaping their own reality. They understand that living with intention and purpose is not something that's reserved for the young. It's something that's available to all of us at any age, and it's never too late to start. Now let me share with you a story of someone I know who has truly embraced the concept of living fully in their later years. His name is Thomas, and he's 72 years old. Thomas spent the majority of his life working as a mechanic, and after retiring, he found himself in a situation many people face. He felt aimless, disconnected from his purpose. He wasn't sure what to do with all the time he now had. But instead of letting his retirement be a time of sitting idly, Thomas decided to make a change. He committed to taking better care of his health, to becoming more active, and to finding new ways to engage with life. At first, it wasn't easy. He had spent most of his life working with his hands, and after years of physical labor, his body was tired. But Thomas began small. He started taking short walks in the morning, just 5 or 10 minutes at a time. He began to pay more attention to his diet, opting for healthier meals. Over time, his energy increased, and so did his enthusiasm for life. But the real shift came when he started practicing gratitude. Each day, he would write down 3 things he was thankful for. It didn't matter if they were big or small, just a simple reflection on what brought him joy or peace that day. And you know what happened? Thomas rediscovered his passion for life. He became more connected to his family and friends, more engaged in his community, and more excited about the future. He even started a small woodworking project, something he had always wanted to do but never had the time for. Thomas didn't wait for life to give him purpose. He created it himself, one small habit at a time. This is exactly what I want for you, a life filled with purpose, connection, and joy. I want you to know that the potential to live fully, to embrace each day with enthusiasm, and to create meaning in your life is within you right now. You may not feel it immediately, and there will be days when it's harder than others, but the power to transform your life is in your hands. As we wrap up this video, I want to offer some final words of encouragement. Life is not about perfection. It's not about doing everything right or being perfect at everything. It's about progress. It's about showing up for yourself, and it's about committing to small, positive actions every day. Your health, your happiness, and your sense of purpose don't come from one big action or dramatic change. They come from the small, consistent choices you make each and every day. If you want to feel better, if you want to find more joy, if you want to experience a sense of peace, the time to start is now. Start with one habit, just one. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be an expert. Just take one small step. Make it easy, make it doable, and make it something you can commit to every day. Whether it's going for a short walk, drinking an extra glass of water, or simply taking a moment to appreciate the beauty around you, start there. Then, as you get comfortable, add another habit and keep going. You don't need to do it all at once. Remember, small steps lead to big changes. Over time, you will begin to notice the positive impact these habits have on your physical health, your mental clarity, and your overall happiness. you will feel stronger, more energized, and more connected to life than you ever imagined. And most importantly, be patient with yourself. Transformation is a journey, not a destination. Celebrate every victory, no matter how small, and be kind to yourself when things don't go as planned. Every day is a new opportunity to try again, to improve and to grow. And as long as you keep taking small steps forward, you are on the right path. I truly believe that you can live a life full of vitality and purpose at any age. It's not about how many years you have left, but how you choose to live the years you do have. Don't wait for life to happen to you. Take control, take action, and make the most of every day. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends or loved ones, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Let's continue to live our best lives together, no matter where we are in life's journey.